Welcome back, guys, to Mass Effect 3 as we continue our conversation with the Prothean here. Let's find out everything about him.
We've never seen a species with this sensory ability you have.
It was common among my people, imparting experience through touch, the chemistry of life. Complicated ideas could be absorbed in seconds.
That sounds very useful.
We evolved as hunters. Reading 1,000 details in our environment ensured our survival.
I'm beginning to understand the beacons a bit more.
Later, we developed technology to harness our ability. Information could be stored in certain objects through touch. Memory has its own biomarker, its own chemistry, as do knowledge and skills. The beacons could remember these things.
Things like Reaper invasions.
Yes, I can still sense the turmoil in you. Witnessing the extinction of our empire. The fabric of your being was forever marked that day.
So, could you read something about this room?
There was liquid, a form of incubation. The DNA of a Krogan who lived here. He was powerful, prone to violence.
I'm impressed. His name was Grunt.
And if he were my enemy, I would have given him a wide berth. There is great strength in his genes.
Liara here would never forgive me if I didn't ask you. What was Prothean civilization like?
Yes, I've always wondered, what sort of government did you have, and can you tell me about your religious beliefs, or perhaps the...
We are dead now. What does it matter?
I'm sorry. Studying your history has been a lifelong passion of mine.
When I was born, our empire was already at war with the Reapers. The first thing I remember was seeing my planet on fire.
What was your civilization like before the Reaper attack?
We were the dominant race of our cycle. We ruled the galaxy.
My studies indicated you were the only race engaged in space travel at the time. I always found that curious.
We were one empire composed of many subjects. All eventually called themselves Prothean.
What if they didn't want to?
They weren't given a choice.
Are you saying you enslaved the other species?
Any could oppose us if they wished. And if they had won, they would have ruled. Many tried. None succeeded.
I had no idea Protheans were so... severe.
It was by necessity. Very early we encountered the dangers posed by machine intelligence. They rebelled against us.
We've had the same problem. They're called Geth.
We could not allow the machines to surpass us. It was decided the only way to win was to unite all organic life within our empire.
Did it work?
For a time. The Metacon War. We were turning the tide. Until the Reapers arrived. Then we understood machines had surpassed us long ago, in ways we could never imagine.
Back on Eden Prime, it looked like there were other stasis pods. What happened?
The Empire had fallen, and we knew our cycle was lost. We were the final vanguard, the best soldiers left alive.
So more of you were supposed to survive into this cycle?
Yes. Under my leadership, a new Prothean Empire would have arisen. We would have commanded the races of your time to prepare for the next Reaper invasion. But traitors within our ranks, indoctrinated agents, betrayed us, and the Reapers discovered our plan.
Just out of curiosity, how would you have commanded us?
By leaving you no other option. You would have joined our army, or faced the Reapers alone.
We've uncovered quite a few Prothean ruins. Were you observing our ancestors?
Before the war, we cultivated species who showed potential. Eventually, you would have been offered a choice to join the Empire. But when the Reapers attacked, we ceased all study. We hoped they would see you as too primitive to harvest.
Well, thank you, I think. Is there anything more you can tell us about this device your people were trying to build?
We heard only stories. They said our scientists were constructing a great machine that had the power to defeat the Reapers.
You never saw it?
By that point, the Empire was smashed into pieces. None of us knew what the others were doing.
Well, if we don't finish it soon, the same will be true of us.
What can you tell us about your own war with the Reapers?
Many of the details were lost. The conflict lasted for centuries. Those that faced the Reapers in the beginning were long dead when I was born. There were memory shards, however, passed down from soldier to soldier. They gave us fragments of what happened.
Several years ago, we found a Prothean VI that called itself Vigil on the planet Ilos. He was the caretaker of a research project.
During my life, Ilos was only a rumor. It was said we had cities there, built on the ruins of a civilization before us, the Inusanon. If our scientists did have a research facility, whatever they were doing was secret.
Yes, Vigil said they wiped all traces of themselves from the records so the Reapers couldn't find them.
The scientists eventually went into cryogenic stasis.
More of my people survived?
No. But they did stop the Reapers from taking control of the Citadel in this cycle. It delayed their invasion.
I never saw the Citadel. It was captured long before I was born.
How did your people wage war against the Reapers?
Attrition. We fought them system by system, planet by planet, city by city. Entire worlds were sacrificed just to slow the Reapers down. Time they spent harvesting a population was time we could regroup.
That must have cost you in the long run.
Yes. Our own people would be indoctrinated, converted, then turned against us. But there was no choice. Mercy is not a weapon. It is a weakness.
Why do you think your own cycle lost the war?
What had been our strength, our empire, became a liability. All races conformed to one doctrine, one strategy. The Reapers exploited this. Once they found our weaknesses, we could not adapt. The subservient races became divided and confused. Then, it was only a matter of time.
I'm happy to say our cycle is different. Most races cooperate, but they still remain unique.
Then it may be your only hope.
Thank you for talking with me. I never imagined actually meeting a Prothean.
This has been amusing.
Oh?
To discover the most primitive races of my time now rule the galaxy. The Asari, the humans, the Turians.
There's also the Solarians.
The lizard people evolved.
I believe they're amphibian.
They used to eat flies. Commander, you may count on me. I am known as Javik.
And welcome aboard the Normandy, Javik.
Welcome on board indeed. Seem to have gained ourselves a somewhat powerful ally here. Make this room your home? Where's that article, I wonder? Oh, we unlocked a particle rifle? Well, that's cool. Whatever that can do, I don't know. I assume it's the weapon we saw in all those cutscenes, so where do we head next? Where do we head next? That's the real question. Do you have to lift upwards? Oh, it is there. It's just not got a door to go in. Let's head up. Find out what's going on. After all, we did hear there was a communication from Miranda Lawson. Other such things to do as well. Thank you. Thank you. What's our email gonna say here? Probably got quite a few. Meet me on the Citadel, Miranda Lawson. It's been a while since we worked together, but I trust you. A very rare commodity since I walked away from Cerberus and the elusive man. We should talk. It's safer in person. You'll find me on the Citadel by Bay D24, so that's where we enter. Forward, thank you, from Stephen Hackett. About Kelly Sanders? Oh no, Kelly Sanders is sending us the thank you, I guess. Hi, Commander. I didn't have time to thank you properly after you got us out of the Academy, and Admiral Hackett agreed to send this your way. While my students are out on duty, I'm doing what I can to help with the Crucible. It's an amazing project, more advanced than anything I've ever seen before. Some of my more tech-minded kids are staying back to help out too, and watching them work. It's the future, Commander. This project will inform human progress for generations, and I'll have you to thank for it. Hopefully Dave is working on it, his mathematical savant. It'll work well. Alliance News Wetwork, new article... Wetwork? Network? Nice one. Article on Eden Prime. Alliance officials confirm a local resistance movement has successfully pushed Cerberus forces off Eden Prime. Cerberus attacked Eden Prime for reasons that remain unclear and set up facilities to occupy the colony, but after constant attacks from a united populace, Cerberus troops retreated. Alliance officials are sending in evacuation transports now to get colonists off-world before Reaper forces reach the colony. We owe this victory to the Alliance. The people of Eden Prime have always been ready to fight, but Alliance Intel gave us the tools we needed to push those Cerberus people off our planets. Many Resistance fighters have said they plan to enlist to support the Alliance. That's great, that's great, that's great. So our intel that we gathered did help them. I wonder what Joker thinks about Javik before we head off on a galaxy-wide journey. Let's find out exactly if we've actually got any more side quests to do before we head back to Citadel, because everything is literally pointing to the Citadel now.
So a Prothean. A real live Prothean. Has Liara stopped bouncing yet? I'm guessing there may have been some bouncing.
I think she's fine in general. OPD was good on her first combat. She's made sure her body is up to, well, spec, I would say. Though I expect it to be probably better than the human in general. Let's get out there, find out what's going on in the galaxy. Got 100% of assets here, that's great. We could head quickly to one of the other, well actually, that whatever system it seems is that way, seems to be quite far away. I'm not sure I want to go that way until I've got absolutely full fuel. In fact, that cluster has loads of people in it. Petra Nebula, Kite's Nest. Nothing else going on in the other galaxy. We've got to meet with the Diplomat's priority request. But it seems like everything we're doing is now back at the Citadel. So let's find out what's going on here. Hopefully it has the same cool Star Wars-esque music as we enter. Okay, we can actually choose where we're entering straight away. Let's go straight to Dr. Bryson's lab. Seems that's one of our quest locations. So we can choose directly where to head. How many sections of the Citadel are there going to be? There's B and D after all, so maybe we'll see an A, a C, possibly E or more.
I want you to match this against all known locations and update the map. Then contact the field teams.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Commander Shepard. We've been expecting you. Just a moment. And Hadley? Could you gather the Leviathan data for us? Apologies, Commander. The rest of my team is out investigating leads right now. I'm Dr. Garrett Bryson, and this is Task Force Aurora.
What's your assignment?
Our mandate is to investigate legends, rumors, old stories about the Reapers before anyone knew they existed.
That's an interesting goal, but is anyone doubting the Reapers exist these days?
The Alliance is still desperate for intelligence. Reaper motives, their operational tactics. Anything that can give us an edge.
And how did you wind up in charge?
When the rest of the galaxy says something doesn't exist, I take that as a chance to prove that it does.
So you're in it for the challenge.
For the truth. Even as late as 2148, humanity still thought aliens were a myth. That was within my lifetime. Once that myth was proven to be reality, our entire history changed.
Reapers were part of that reality too.
But even they have a history, Commander. If we could just uncover it, there may be a weakness we can exploit.
I could have used your help 3 years ago.
Yes. If people had paid more attention to your Prothean beacon, we might not be in this war. But now with new information we've uncovered, a breakthrough's near. Hadley, do you have the data?
No!
This is Commander Shepard. I need CSEC at my location, now!
You shouldn't be here. The darkness can't be breached.
Transit records show his name is Derek Hadley. He's worked here for a couple months.
Shepard, I monitored a CSEC alert from this location. Were you harmed?
I'm fine, but I could use your help sorting this out, Edie. Take a look through their files. I need to know what this task force was up to.
At once.
What?
What's happening?
You tell me.
I was gathering our data when you arrived, and then it was dark. Cold. Like I was someplace else.
And then?
I don't know! A gun was in my hand. Dr. Bryson, there was a loud noise.
That was you shooting him.
I didn't do it, it wasn't me! You have to believe that.
So someone else pulled that trigger.
But I would never do that!
Commander, this does resemble reports of indoctrination.
Indoctrination? Me?
What about that Leviathan Bryson mentioned? How does that tie in?
It's some kind of creature. Our field teams have been tracking it. That artifact came in from our researcher, Garneau. He sent an audio log if you wanna...
What's wrong?
Turn back.
What are you talking about?
The darkness cannot be breached.
Damn it, get him over to the clinic, see if they can tell us what's wrong with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Commander, you'll want to see this. It's an outgoing message from Dr. Bryson to Admiral Hackett.
Dr. Bryson, you have an update? Admiral, the Leviathan of Dis that we've been investigating, I think we're really onto something. Give me the brief. About 20 years ago, the Batarians discovered a Reaper corpse that had died in battle. They covered it up and denied it ever existed. But I'm intrigued by the larger implication. What could have killed the Reaper in the first place? Exactly. That's the real Leviathan. It's worth pursuing. Continue your investigation and update me on the progress.
There is also a follow-up message from a few weeks later.
Admiral, the Reapers are shadowing my field teams as if they're hunting Leviathan themselves. Whatever it is, I believe Leviathan is nothing less than a Reaper killer. Almost an apex predator, and it has them nervous. If we could just find it, imagine the impact on the war. I'm formally requesting assistance in tracking it down. You'll have it. This is now your top priority, Doctor. Find that thing.
It appears we were meant to be that assistance.
Anything capable of killing a Reaper could do a lot of collateral damage.
Yet given the state of this conflict, I believe the saying, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend," may be relevant.
But we won't know unless we can find it.
Bryson's assistant did say they recently received a log from their field researcher. It may yield more information.
Thank you for that. What have we got ourselves into? I think we've actually just stumbled onto a DLC. That's the problem of not playing the game once through and going blind for it. I don't know what's DLC and what's not when we got the prompts.
This must be the artifact the assistant mentioned. And here's the log.
Dr. Bryson, it's Garneau. I'm sending you an artifact I found. About the only thing I found there, in fact. Maybe it's nothing, but I'd swear Leviathan came through here. I'm gonna crunch some numbers. Burn up the rest of this project travel allowance. Maybe I can project our Reaper killer's movements. I'll check in when I get to the next site.
Garneau appears to be our best lead to track Leviathan, but he does not state a destination.
Let's focus on what he does say then.
He mentioned extrapolating Leviathan's path.
And crunching numbers. He wasn't flying blind. He had data.
A significant amount of data, judging by this office.
So how do we narrow it down?
Bryson and his colleagues evidently used a galaxy map search program in their hunt for Leviathan. It may help us locate Garneau.
Okay then, we'll consult the map indeed. Mind you, first of all, is there anything in this room of interest? Well, not so much. This room is actually very small when you look at it properly. Right then, Edie, let's get to work.
Does this tell us where Garneau went?
No, but we may be able to narrow down his location if we find clues he was using in his search for Leviathan.
Okay then.
These are all murders in which the accused lacked a known motive and claimed memory loss.
Just like Bryson's assistant. You think Garneau was following a trail of blackout crimes?
It is possible. We need to find data matching dates and locations for crimes of this nature.
Here's the time and date chart for the crimes. Can you filter for murders where the killer claimed memory loss?
Adding the search filter, you may examine the results on the galaxy map program.
Nice to know, but there might be more locations to check out, more evidence to bring in first. Or more upgrades. Always a fan of the upgrades, after all. So we can leave here. But I feel once you've stumbled into something, you should go with it. And get whatever you can get hold of while we're done it, if you know what I mean. Lots of lovely stuff. Maybe something on these boxes all the way around here. Nice. That's our first pistol mod, I think. Well, that's suspicious to start off with.
Sovereign. Vanguard of our destruction. How's that working out for you, big guy?
Not very well, but surely Dead Reapers or parts of Dead Reapers could indoctrinate as well, I thought.
Loch Ness Monster?
Tali'zorah.
Loch Ness Monster's more interesting.
Interesting and non-existent.
Thank you, Edie, for being such a killjoy there.
Looks like data on the Rachni.
March 7th, 2186. I'm looking at the Rachni. Their movements during the Rachni Wars suggest alien influence. But the timing is wrong, and Rachni weren't implanted with Reaper tech. What if Leviathan was preparing the Rachni to fight the Reapers?
What do you think, Edie?
It is possible that Bryson's team is using ancient Rachni fleet activity to find Leviathan. We saw a data pad containing data on Rachni movements earlier. It may be relevant.
Did we?
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
This does not seem relevant at the moment.
At the moment, you say. We'll take all the upgrades we can grab hold of as well.
Meteorite fragment, maybe?
He was studying it as an object of importance. We should look more closely at a sample.
Meteorite sample with traces of element 0. Would Leviathan need Ezo?
While it is not consumed as fuel during FTL travel, element 0 will decay after several centuries of active use. If Leviathan is old enough, it would need to replenish its supplies.
Okay. Can you give me a search filter for locations with element 0?
Adding this search filter to the galaxy map.
Surely, after all, I've got most of those search locations done by myself.
Bryson was tracking unexplained creature sightings.
The photographs have a trace chemical residue. It may be visible under another light source.
Okay, then.
Bryson was not merely tracking sightings. He was attempting to extrapolate a course.
And Garneau could have been following that course. Edie, can you add a search filter for systems along that projected path?
Adding the search filter now.
Many, many filters have been added already. Now, where was that data pad you said I saw?
The Rachni data.
Can you add a cross-reference for locations of sightings?
Adding it now.
Thank you. Right, anything else to find?
Dr. Bryson, per your request, I'm clearing Task Force Aurora for intercepted Batarian communications regarding the Leviathan of Dis.
Commander, the Dreadnought is in custody, but the Solarians may have surveillance footage. Our ambassador will issue a full denial. Give me your preliminary analysis. Several million years old at least, and its technology outstrips anything on the Council. Excellent. Our scientists will work day and night to bring its secrets to the hegemony. One concern, Commander. The real Leviathan of Dis, the thing that destroyed the ship, is still out there, unaccounted for. Irrelevant. The ship is our priority. And as far as the rest of the galaxy is concerned, there is no Leviathan of Dis. There never was.
You see, we have a different way of looking at that now, because we are very much looking for that.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
This does not seem relevant at the moment.
We got multiple copies of the picture, though. That seems somewhat relevant to me. Weird abstract painting there. And some places we cannot go. This laboratory is useless. No, we can head in. There seems to be just a bathroom. This toilet literature is very much stacked up there. And now I'm wet. That was not exactly clever of me, was it? Can we head into this room? No, that room is just... well, not a room, in fact. Part of the garden. So I think we must have all the... oh no, did we actually look at this yet? The Thorian. Oh, he's looking into everything. With Thorian, a life form discovered on Pharos provides fascinating insight into the life cycle of a truly alien species. Unlike conventionally intelligent life, it does not use mass relays. Prothean artifacts were not interested. Commander Shepard claims that Reaper enemies cultivated life to evolve along lines they could predict using technology the Reapers controlled. The Thorian is an exception to that rule. It evolved to use organic tools rather than conventional technology. Leviathan must be somehow similar to have survived undetected for so long. Oh, not another Thorian type taking control of people thing, even though we kind of saw something that kind of resembled that with the murder. The Thorian used pain conditioning to control its victims, using them as manual labor, or even as a man would use his own hands and fingers. Commander Shepard claims that Reapers do the same thing through a different process called indoctrination. Whatever Leviathan is, it must do something similar. We must have all the search filters by now. Unless we haven't even checked this desk.
Sir, this is Bryson. We know the Reapers are after Leviathan. Studying Reaper hunting patterns could be vital to finding it.
That data is classified top secret, Dr. Bryson. If it falls into the wrong hands...
It won't. The data's encrypted. I'll keep the decryption key safe. Close to my heart.
Close to his heart. The hell does that mean?
I think I know.
The Reaper fleet activity is encrypted, per Bryson's statement in the log.
He said he was keeping the decryption key close to his heart.
It's either this picture or the one upstairs.
By Anne Bryson, age 9.
Records indicate Anne is now 28. She works for the Alliance.
Bryson was keeping the encryption key close to his heart. What's closer than family?
An interesting hypothesis, but I detect no trace of the decryption key in this... art.
So we got to find Anne Bryson first and foremost.
The Reaper fleet activity is encrypted, per Bryson's statement in the log.
He said he was keeping the decryption key close to his heart.
Unless he means literally on his person and he's dead, but this picture looked suspicious to me earlier, but we can't do anything with that.
Another piece of Anne Bryson's childhood art.
Wait a minute. Well, take a look at that.
I can use these numbers to construct a decryption key.
Alright, let's get back to the datapad we found earlier.
On my way, Edie. We've got business to do, but I'm going to leave it for this episode, as we seem to be getting flung far into the Leviathan DLC. So join me for that next episode as we enter the decryption key and see where it might lead. Bye-bye.